This is the University of Mobile Sexual Assault Awareness Policy. The University of Mobile is committed to creating and maintaining a campus environment where safety, health, and well-being are priorities for all. Sexual misconduct includes a variety of acts that are perpetrated against another without consent or when an individual is unable to freely give consent. Accordingly, the university will not tolerate any form of sexual misconduct, including sexual assault, sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, dating violence, domestic violence, and/or stalking. All forms of sexual misconduct are serious offenses with serious consequences. In addition to violating the community standards, some forms of sexual misconduct are both criminal and civil offenses that are punishable by law. Students found responsible for sexual misconduct may face disciplinary actions up to and including suspension. The purpose of UM's sexual misconduct policy is to educate the campus community about expectations regarding sexual behavior, to define sexual misconduct, to describe the rights of those who report a violation and those who are accused of violating the sexual misconduct policy, to provide guidance on what a person should do if they have been sexually assaulted or victimized, to ensure compliance with appropriate state and federal regulations, including Title IX and the Jean Cleary Act, and to identify campus and community resources for those who wish to report sexual misconduct and for students who have been accused of sexual misconduct. Some definitions of sexual misconduct. The sexual misconduct policy at the University of Mobile covers a variety of acts that are perpetrated against another without consent or when an individual is unable to give consent freely. Anyone can be a victim, regardless of their gender or age. Sexual misconduct includes, but is not limited to, the following: sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, stalking, dating violence, domestic violence. Key terms related to sexual misconduct. Consent. Consent is an informed decision made freely and actively by all parties. Conduct will be considered without consent if no clear consent, verbal or nonverbal, is given. Incapacitation. Incapacitated persons cannot give consent. One who is incapacitated as a result of alcohol or other drug consumption, voluntary or involuntary, or who is unconscious, unaware, or otherwise helpless, is incapable of giving consent. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other harassing conduct of a sexual nature, whether intentional or not. Sexual assault. Sexual assault is any kind of sexual conduct or contact that occurs without the explicit consent of the recipient. Sexual exploitation. Sexual exploitation occurs when a person takes non-consensual or unjust sexual advantage of another for their own advantage or benefit, or to benefit another other than the one being exploited. Stalking. Stalking is defined as engaging in a course of conduct directed at a specific person that would cause a reasonable person to fear for his or her safety or the safety of others, or offer or suffer substantial emotional distress. This also includes cyberstalking. Dating violence. Dating violence is defined as violence committed by a person who is or has been in a social relationship of a romantic or intimate nature with the victim. Dating violence can include physical assault, verbal abuse, controlling behavior, sexual abuse, psychological abuse. Domestic violence. Domestic violence is defined as violence committed by a current or former spouse of the victim, by a person with whom the victim shares a child in common, by a person who is cohabitating with or has cohabitated with the victim as a spouse or someone similarly situated to a spouse, or by any other person from whom the victim is protected under domestic or family violence laws. What to do if you think you are in an abusive relationship. Reach out to someone you trust. Use the resources on campus, CSAs, Counseling Center, Campus Security. Create a safety plan. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can find additional information, resources, and support at www.loveisrespect.org. What to do in case of sexual assault. Find a safe environment. Take a moment to collect yourself. You may feel a variety of confusing emotions. These are normal responses to trauma. Know that the incident is not your fault. Get support. Contact campus security and/or ask a trusted individual to stay with you. Seek medical attention. Take care of any possible injuries. Preserve evidence. Don't shower or brush your teeth, and keep the clothes that you are wearing in a paper bag. File a report. Record all details you can recall. Campus security and other designated personnel, like CSAs, are available to help you through the process. CSAs at the University of Mobile. Many of the faculty and staff serve as Campus Security Authorities, or CSAs. These individuals are trained to listen, take your report, and guide you to appropriate resources. The following individuals on campus serve as CSAs: Dean of Students, Campus Life Coordinators, Resident Assistants, Security Officers, Academic Advisors, Human Resources Personnel, Coaches, Athletic Trainers.